It's Kevin Keatsman Uncanceled on 95.7 FM, KCMO Talk Radio.
Good morning, Kansas City. Welcome to Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio, 95.7 FM. I'm Kevin Keatsman, leading you up to the Vince Show at 11 o'clock right here on KCMO. We got a lot of tasty topics on the broadcast today. Looking forward to this one very much. We got some good sports stories today that are not X's and O's. We're not dyed in the weeds here. We're going to update you on that crazy dude that crashed through Travis Kelce's gated neighborhood at 2:30 in the morning and what Leewood has decided to do with this person. We have crazy behavior by Kansas basketball fans last night at their game where they were chanting F Dan Hurley at the coach of the other team. We'll decide whether that is appropriate for Kansas or not. They've always been above that sort of thing, or certainly taken to task people who do it at other places. I've got some thoughts coming up in about 25 minutes on the Trump cabinet day yesterday. I love when he has those cabinet days because every little infinitesimal story that doesn't matter that the Democrats come up with gets blown off the table. Like Epstein's gone. Nobody was talking about MRIs and all this other stuff that they try to get with Trump. No, when he has the cabinet meetings live in front of everyone, news is made. And there was plenty of news made yesterday, most of it financial. We'll get into a tax-free America, an income tax-free America, and savings for your children or grandchildren that the government's going to help with. This is all wild and good stuff. We'll, of course, check in with Mark as well. We'll also get into, a little bit later in the show, what's going on in Manhattan. They have a 4 o'clock news conference at K-State today where Taylor Bratt, who I know, I play golf with him in the summer several times. He's a recruiting coordinator, will host a news conference, which he's never done. Anybody that knows this guy's like, that's not his thing. His thing is like recruiting football players to K-State, and that's it. That's his life. And he's worked for all the different coaches. He doesn't ever go away. Taylor Bratt's always that guy. So he's going to have, I guess they signed players today. So he's going to have a news conference. And then after that, Chris Kleiman and Gene Taylor are going to come in and announce that Chris Kleiman is retiring. So this will be the shortest recruiting news conference in the history of college football. The reporters will want to get through that quickly to get to the rest of it. So we'll talk about some of that coming up a little bit later on. So I've had this thing going on with our most common caller to the show, Steven, in KCK, where he calls in to talk about a topic, and inevitably it veers off into some rant about Bad Bunny and the NFL and the halftime show. He can't not go there. Steven, I know you're listening. Today's show is for you. I'm going to give you something new to complain about, okay? I know you don't like the NFL. I know you love college football. I'm down with all that. I know you hate Roger Goodell. I know you think it's all ruined. It's all this and that. I get it. We got a lot to not like about the NFL, but most of what we don't like about the NFL is also a reason we love it because it happens to other teams too, and then you just love it when that happens. I saw the news release this week that the NFL has announced a person named Coco Jones is going to sing before the game, Lift Every Voice and Sing. This is a mistitled song. It is not about lifting every voice. Yeah, I guess it's about singing since you are singing the song. But it might be the most mistitled song I've ever heard of. This is more commonly referred to as the Black National Anthem. And yes, I'm going there. It's why you listen to this show. Black people do not need a national anthem. If there were a white national anthem, my God, what kind of trouble would we have? If there were anything the NFL should do, and I'll make this case in a moment, maybe a song before the Super Bowl that the Native Americans who were here first would like to sing before this big event on American soil every year? I don't know. Just a thought. So here's your lineup. Brandi Carlile singing God Bless America. Fine. Everybody likes her. Charlie Puth's going to sing the national anthem. Bad Bunny, controversial, has the halftime. But nobody's going to talk about Lift Every Voice and Sing this year because of Bad Bunny. So maybe the NFL got what they want. But, Steven, if you're listening, here are some of the lyrics to, again, the song is titled Lift Every Voice, and Sing. In the lyrics, they talk about a dark past, that we will march until victory is won. In the name and the honor of the blood of the slaughtered, Our hearts drunk with wine of the world. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't belong in any anthem for any country or any people. Hearts drunk with wine of the world. You imagine the Star-Spangled Banner just right in the middle? Just, right before the, final stanza. Our hearts are drunk with wine of the world. I don't know what that is. And then the end of the song, which I think they cut out. I'm not sure they do the full song, although we don't sing the full national anthem. There's another stanza to that as well. To the Star-Spangled Banner. This is how the song ends. We won't forget our God, true to our God, true to our native land. So the song literally is about Africa and the God that they worshiped there before they came here and were exposed to Christianity. Most black Americans are Christian. The overwhelming number of black Americans are Christian. I don't think that's the God they're talking about in this song. And I don't think they know it. But the NFL is going to keep trotting it out there because with Bad Bunny playing, there's no real resistance to it. I'm not sure that we need to get that deep. Maybe it's just okay. This happens I think last year it happened at 4:50 and wasn't really part of the, they show a lot of, I don't think it was on every place. They'll probably show it this year. I don't know, but it's a half an hour or more before kickoff. It's not that prominent. But it just seems if we're going to pick out one people in this country and say that your skin color, your heritage matters, and we're going to let you have your own song, maybe it should be Native Americans.
They sing it before the season opening game now as well. So it's the opening game and then the Super Bowl, the closing game. So I have noticed the last couple of years.
Where does it stop? I guess is my question. Is the NFL eventually going to have 7 or 8 songs? Are we going to do this for every culture in our melting pot? I heard people talking the other day that America, I was always brought up to believe, and we were taught this in school, that it's a beautiful melting pot. Well, you know what that is. You know what a melting pot is. You go to make nachos, you put it in a crock pot, you got a whole bunch of ingredients in there. You got cheese, you got milk, you got butter, you got spices, you got salt, you got pepper. You don't see any of them when it's over. It's all just a crock pot of America. And every chip has the same great America on it. But what Democrats want to do is turn America into a salad, where you look at the bowl and you identify every single ingredient in your salad bowl. You got the carrots, you got the cabbage, you got the lettuce, you got the red onions, you got the dressing, you got the cheese, you got some eggs, you got some sunflower seeds, you got whatever else you put on there. And everybody identifies out as what they are and is merely in the same place. They're not the same people. They want the identities of where they come from. The carrot came from a different place than the lettuce, and we want to recognize that. We want to recognize the carrot in the salad bowl. The lettuce over here, there's mostly lettuce. Let's forget that part. I think you know what lettuce is in the salad bowl. That's the colonizers who built this country to what it is. Now, this country was built for you to be a part of this country. And as we're focused this week on what the Somalians have done in Minnesota and the $1 billion they've stolen and the 70-some that have been arrested and the 50 that have already been convicted and the deportations that are sure to come and what Trump is doing to Somalians, make no mistake about it, this is not who we are. Those people do not belong here, and they damn sure don't belong here on our dime. They don't want to be American. They want little Somalia, total chaos, gang warfare. Basically, they're gangsters. Somalians, a bunch of tribal folks of gangsters that run around and kill each other all the time. They don't have a stable government. There's no real country. There's no sense of oneness. They just want to set that nomadic activity up in Minneapolis and take from us and our 250 years of heritage and history and culture in this country of who and what we are and why Americans are together when times are bad, when we're attacked, when 9/11 happens. Everybody's the same. We're the melting pot again. We're not a salad bowl. When things are good in this country, we're a bowl of salad. When they're bad, we're the best melting pot you ever saw. Every single ingredient in there, you can't tell them apart. We're all the same. We're just Americans. We need to live that every day. We need to do that when times are good. We need to remember that That doesn't mean we can't be charitable, that we can't help people, that we can't have immigrants. That's not what any of that means. We can't fix the world's problems. America's great. She ain't that great. We got 340 million. A country of 340 million cannot fix the problems of 8 billion or 10 billion or however many people live on Earth now. We can't fix all those problems. And it shouldn't be up to us. What we can do is take care of ourselves better than anyone else on Earth. And in doing that, we advance everything on this planet, from science and technology to economics to well-being to safety and security to peace and prosperity. Everything in the world gets better when America does well. It's absolutely true. It's never been truer than today. And here we go. We're going to have our Super Bowl. And if you're asking me, I understand the Bad Bunny decision. I don't like the guy. I think he's anti-American, whatever. But a lot of crazy socialists, liberals, whatever out there. I get why the NFL's doing it. They're doing it to bring in Spanish-speaking people in countries all over the world to watch the halftime show and to maybe check out football and become football fans. It's a business decision. I get it. How is lift every voice and sing a business decision? That's just virtue signaling. That's just saying we're on it. We got you. We see you. We got it. But you don't see other so-called marginalized people? I think that's a slippery slope. 913-408-7957. That's 913-408-7957. If you've got any commentary on that, we'll take it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We're also going to talk about the Kennedy Center. Donald Trump's going to rock the Kennedy Center this weekend. I don't know if anybody knows this. The World Cup's there for 2 days, and then the Kennedy Center honors. He's going to be all over the place this weekend at the Kennedy Center. It's all ahead on Uncanceled. This is KCMO Talk Radio. So one thing I'm well aware of is, when sitting behind this microphone, that I've been doing it for a long, long time, and a lot of listeners are younger than I am, and that things in our American culture change, and they're not the same as I was when I was, let's say, a rabid college basketball fan in my early 20s, going to college, whatever, or football fan, or any sport, any of these things, and that things change. I've always tried to pride myself in understanding what younger people are into. Not that I would necessarily like their music or movies, but stay up on at least what's cool, what people are doing, things like that. I've never wanted to be the get off my lawn guy, although we have some new neighbors on our cul-de-sac, and they've got these little terrorist 10-year-old kids, maybe 8 years old, that have these little Jeep things that they're not fun little toys. I mean, these belong on a track somewhere, and they're all over the cul-de-sac, which doesn't bother me, although I don't think the parents should let them do it. But then they fly up onto my driveway and through my yard. I'm like, I'm not get off my lawn, but I really don't want you bringing your little $6,000 Jeep that your mommy bought you and run it up on my yard. I don't want to be that guy. But should Kansas basketball fans be chanting F. Dan Hurley, F. Dan Hurley, F. Dan Hurley at the coach of UConn last night at Allen Fieldhouse? Bill Self went and tried to stop him, didn't work, came back in the second half. Dan Hurley after the game said, look, it's sports. If that's what they want to do, he made a joke of it by using the F word himself. He said, if that's what they want to do, hey, we're all effing gladiators, and made a joke of it. Dan Hurley didn't care. He probably actually liked it because they won the game. But I do remember a time when, especially in the 90s, Nebraska fans used to call the radio show all the time, and they'd say, we're such good fans. We clap for the visiting team as they walk off the field. And I'm like, well, yeah, nobody's beating you. Like, what do you mean you clap for the opponent as they walk? Oh, we give them a standing ovation. And in the tunnel, we applaud them as they walk through. I'm like, yeah, you just beat them 52-3. This isn't hard. Then you get Bo Pelini as your coach. Bill Snyder goes in there and gives you the worst loss in stadium history, and you're throwing things, and Pelini goes after Snyder and calls him an a-hole. Okay, it's all relative. So what I gathered from this last night was a little jealousy of Kansas fans, and I think you got the wrong Hurley here. This ain't the one that played at Duke. You got no reason to hate this guy. He didn't play at Duke. He's only won 2 national titles at UConn. That's what Bill Self has at Kansas. He's got nothing on Bill Self. Plus, America doesn't like Dan Hurley. Nobody likes the guy. Just let him stand there in his sport coat that's way too small for him, looking like a douche on the side of the court, going after officials during the timeouts, and boo him all you want. But come on, Kansas fans. You for years, you've looked down on Missouri fans and K-State fans and people for doing this. You got to stop this. You're the last hope that my generation has of any fans anywhere having any civility and not doing this. We saw what happened to the Ryder Cup this year. My God, golf turned into a freak show. The people in New York went crazy. They threw stuff at Rory's wife. They hit Rory's wife with a beer can. It's insane. They're like, oh, it's New York. That's what happens in New York. No. That's not good enough, New York. It's not. And I think there's something better for Kansas out there. Kids will be kids. College students all use that word. It's used a lot more publicly. It's everywhere on the internet. There's no, free speech is free speech. I'm all for free speech, and this falls under that category. That cannot and should not be a crime. If they want to make it a rule and a term for being in attendance to the basketball game, Kansas can kick out anybody they want, but it's not a crime to scream that. It's not. And I don't want to make this a crime. I'm merely asking if that's what you want Kansas basketball to be. I think it's a real question. I think most Kansas fans would say, gosh, if we could get through to the students, let's not have that happen again this year. That's something that would happen in Manhattan or Columbia, and we can sit down on our perch, and if we don't do it, we can look down on them. And that's good. That's what Kansas fans like. It's what they want. It's who they are. It's what they should be. I'm married to one. I get it. I know. They don't think much of the basketball programs at Missouri and K-State. They don't, and nor should they.
And they play Mizzou Sunday.
Right.
That'll be interesting.
They're going to break it out at T-Mobile Center. If Missouri gets like an 8-point lead in the first half and they play Mr. Brightside, it's over, okay? They're not playing Mr. Brightside. We know what Missouri fans will do, but would Kansas fans retaliate Sunday?
Blank the Tigers. They shouldn't do that.
They shouldn't do that. Is it okay that Missouri fans do it? I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore because it's just part of who young people are. It's the lexicon. It's the way they talk. It's the real world. I get it.
Yeah, I don't like it, but they're going to do it.
They're going to do it. I think that's where we are. I think that's America today. Let's not have it in church, please. Sporting events, I guess it's going to happen. I don't know how you stop it. I don't know what it is that you can do, but Kansas is there. I don't know how Leawood expects to stop anybody from doing anything crazy with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. A crazy guy breaks into a gated neighborhood the night of the Chiefs-Eagles game, 2:30 in the morning, jumps the fence, runs across the lawn, acting crazy, gets arrested by the cops, says he was trying to serve a subpoena. Made national news because TMZ picked it up and said it had something to do with some other actress and a lawsuit and this and that, but there was no subpoena. If the man was there serving a subpoena, he would not have been found guilty of trespassing and doing what it is that he did. He's been found guilty, and Leawood is, boy, you don't want to commit a crime in Leawood now. He's going to have to pay $1,000 and probation. He's going to have to do some service work on this. That's, oof. Taylor Swift, formerly committed liberal, is now getting married, and they're talking about babies. My guess is she's going to be conservative at some point. I will be fascinated to see if they go to church every now and then or be affiliated with a church somehow, some way. What do you think she thinks about the Leawood police and the justice system in Leawood, living at Trav's house with all this stuff going on? People jumping fences, running through the yard. Look, they got plenty of security up in there now. I can guarantee you. All due respect to the Leawood Police Department, you guys, I know you want to do your job. Sometimes they just don't let you, and you can't decide what the crime, what the punishment is here. That certainly is the judicial system. But I'm going to guess that Travis and Taylor got their own police force right there at the residence, and you don't want any part of it. I promise you. When we come back, Trump's cabinet day was epic, and he's about to start at the Kennedy Center next on KCMO. Welcome back to the big show. Good to have you with us. We're taking your phone calls if you'd like to join us, 913-408-7957. We especially welcome ladies and first-time callers. Don't be bashful. Join in the conversation. We'd love to have you on the broadcast as we take your phone calls. A couple of interesting things happening this week in Trump world. I love Trump world. I love living in Trump world. He's going to be at the Kennedy Center maybe a lot this weekend. The World Cup draw, and then the announcements on World Cup draw is Friday at the Kennedy Center. Trump asked the head of FIFA to move it from Las Vegas to the Kennedy Center. FIFA's giving away a World Peace Prize. They're going to announce that this week. It's going to be Donald Trump. He's going to be the first recipient of the FIFA Peace Prize. We know this is going to happen. It's at the Kennedy Center. How's he not there for this? I don't know whether that will be Friday or Saturday. It's hard to say. Saturday's the day we're going to find out which teams are coming to Kansas City and who will be playing one another. Friday's just the day we know the teams that are in which pod, which group, and who they all are. Then on Sunday is the Kennedy Center Honors. They tape this show. This is where Sylvester Stallone's going to be honored, Ace Frehley from Kiss, Gloria Gaynor, other celebrities, poets, playwrights, things like that. And Trump basically hand-selected the people this year. And they asked him to host. I've not heard confirmation that he is actually hosting. I just know that he said, you people are crazy. And they said, no, we want the television ratings. And they're like, they wanted him to host. I don't know if he's hosting, if he's co-hosting, if he'll be part of it. But he's going to be in a big way at the Kennedy Center, obviously, on Sunday for the taping of the Kennedy Center Honor Show, which won't air for a week or two. They post-edit it. It's not live. So they do the event, then they edit it to make it perfect for television and air it on one of the television networks. And it will get a huge rating when they air the Kennedy Center Honor. So he's going to be everywhere at the Kennedy Center. Yesterday, he had his cabinet meeting, which was spectacular. I love these things. And I did a whole podcast today. Well, not a whole podcast. The whole beginning of the podcast for maybe 20 minutes. If you want more information on this, go to my podcast, kkhasissues.com. Okay? On the Trump accounts for babies born this year, next year, the year after, and the year after are getting $1,000 put in there that stays there until they're 18 when they can only access it for good things. College, trade school, start a business, buy a house. That's pretty much it. You can't go take a European vacation. You can't buy a Tesla. It's a government's account. They're building this account for you just like Social Security is their account. You're just the recipient of it. They control it. You get it when they say you get it. You get how much they say you get. These are going to be the same way, which is the best thing you can do for a child and for most parents. That means the parents can't take it from the kid. They can't pull it out and borrow against it. They can't do this. They can't do that. And fritter it away or get credit card debt or whatever. Can't be done. I love it. So we go into detail of that. And we mentioned yesterday on the show that Michael and Susan Dell of Dell Computers are starting an account for the kids that are 2 to 10. You're going to be able to match these as parents or grandparents and put up to $5,000 a year in tax-free. That's pretty cool. They estimate today if a child born this year takes the $1,000 and the family somehow puts the $5,000 a year in each year between parents, grandparents, employers, because Dell Computers is going to match 50% like a 401k. Michael Dell said, everybody that works at Dell, you put the money in, we're going to add 50%. Employers are going to have to start doing this for children, or you're not going to get the best people. They're creating competition in America, but mostly they're changing the way we think of finances. Save your money, live for long term, and go. The rest of the money can be rolled over into an IRA. You can keep it. You have to keep it until you're at least 30. I would love to see it change to 65 or whatever retirement age is. We could literally get rid of Social Security in 65 years. It would be gone. They project a child born this year whose family invests for him right now at age 18 will have $195,000 graduating high school. A net worth of $195,000. That's more than the national average today. It's a spectacular program. So if you want to hear more about all the details and all that, it's on my podcast today, kkhasissues.com. It was a big cabinet day yesterday as well, and they talked about cutting federal funding for SNAP benefits to the states that are not sharing data. And I believe Kansas is one of those states because Laura Keller refuses to share it. So we may have SNAP benefits about to be cut off in the state of Kansas, which obviously will become a big story. All right, here is Stephen in KCK. What is up, Stephen? Good morning. How are you, sir?
Oh, Kevin, the good news just keeps on coming. Congratulations on your new coach. I was hoping K-State would wait a little bit longer to hire.
Yeah. Did you miss the open to the show today?
I may have missed about 5 minutes. 5 minutes or so. I didn't hear.
What was the open to the show about?
I have no idea. I didn't hear the first 5 minutes or so.
It was about you.
Oh, me? Oh, gosh.
I am
really?
so disappointed you were not listening at the start of the show today.
Oh,
You're going to have to listen to the podcast, buddy.
Okay.
If you don't listen to the start of the show, you don't know the show.
Well, okay. Well, I think the thing about Danny Hurley, you touched on a lot of feels.
You
this
don't
morning.
even want to know what I said about you at the start of the show.
That's okay. That's all right. I got thick skin.
Do you know? Do you? No. I was very inclusive for you.
Oh.
Do you listen to the podcast of the show, or are you going to go back and listen to it?
No, I will. I will listen to it.
Okay.
I will listen to it. One of the greatest moments of my life, not my sporting life, but my life, was watching Nebraska fans walk out of Memorial Stadium in Lawrence after Todd Reesing beat him 78-50 or 40 with Bill Callahan, the greatest fans in the world.
Did they clap for KU? Did they applaud KU for the effort? That's what they said all through the years. We're Nebraska fans. We clap for the opponents no matter what. Well, that's not true.
You hit a lot of feels. You hit a lot of feels with that one. But I think with Danny Hurley, I think he wants to be perceived that way.
Sure.
I mean, it's not a great look for us. I know that it's not a fantastic look. And I think KU basketball, we've become less arrogant over the years. I mean, K-State has great basketball tradition. I mean, there are some ignorant KU fans that do not know that you guys have better tradition than Mizzou. Mizzou has never won anything.
There's no us guys. I'm not claiming Jerome Tang's team. No. No.
Well, I'm just glad that that Danny always had an inferiority complex. He could win 10 national championships, and he still won't be perceived in the same way as Bobby Hurley. It's kind of weird, but
true. And to bring this segment together, that maybe is the danger of Colin Klein. We used to talk about George Brett as manager of the Royals, and people would say, no, the best players aren't the best coaches and managers. It's the guys who had to struggle a little bit and do all the extra things. They wind up being the best coaches. Well, Colin Klein was a warrior as a player, certainly, but he finished second in the Heisman Trophy. There's very few Steve Spurriers out there. Okay, the guys that are just great and then become a great coach. That's a pretty rare thing.
Well, and also, like you alluded to, NILs, and I guess Lane wanted part of his contract was the $25 million in NILs. Will K-State go all out with? And I think they will. That's why I'm worried that that Colin's going to be such a great coach. They're going to go all out on NIL.
I have it on very good authority that what they offered him for a salary, he accepted immediately and said, that's fine. Yeah. Now let's talk about my budget for my coaches and my budget for NIL.
Right. That's where it's all at in today's game. And also, more good news, they got rid of the girl on SportsCenter late at night and shifted her over to Netflix. So, boy, I mean, it's just like, I love living in Trump world too. Is this how this is going to go? Is that all of the DEI hires are going to be shuffled off to Netflix where they can pay them, and they can another failed program like like Jameel Hill and all the other failures they've had over on that network. I mean, the good news just keeps on coming.
You got it, buddy.
I'm amazed. Thank you.
Go back and listen to the start of the show and call me tomorrow, will you? Okay. You got to call me tomorrow. He doesn't know. He didn't listen. And he didn't even say, He didn't. You know what he didn't do? He didn't bring up Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Amazing. He didn't bring up Bad Bunny.
That was pretty shocking.
He did not bring up the halftime show. That's what it was about at the start of the show.
Surprised.
I put it on a platter for him, something else to complain about other than Bad Bunny. And he doesn't even know what it is yet. He's going to have to go listen to the podcast at the beginning of the show. But it's right there for Steven, and he can have this all to himself. That's awesome.
Lift every voice and sing. A little preview for you, Steven.
You and I have far different interpretations of this song. But you have a bigger heart than I do. I think you're just more willing to always see the good and not be as skeptical as I am.
That's probably true.
I applaud you for this.
Oh, thank you.
That actually makes you a better person. It does. I'll say it. I'm comfortable with who I am, but I could be better. I could be a lot better. I know that. I could be a lot better. That's not where we are. I saw this quote yesterday. I love this from Elon Musk, and it's so true in the way he says things sometimes for a really smart guy are very simple. And I like the fact that it's true, but I ask as I read this to you, is this the lowest possible bar for humanity, like for society? Elon Musk said in an interview this week, I'm a big fan of anyone that wants to build. And he doesn't mean like with your hands. It can be with your hands, but he means anything. Anyone who wants to make more than they take has my respect. And again, he's not just talking about money. That you want to make something more than you take has my respect. Aim to be a net contributor to your society. Well, that's exactly right. Give more than you get. This has been taught since the beginning of time. It's taught in the Bible. It's exactly what you do. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you is not enough. We should actually aspire to do more than we get in return. I read that in today's world, and I know how many millions of people in this country don't even try to do that. That this is not even part of their game plan. Not only do they not aspire to it, they don't even think of it. They've never heard of that. It's never been taught to them. They've gone their whole life thinking that they're owed something from someone, that they've been ripped off, shortchanged, based on the way they look, their sexual identity, the color of their skin, their religion, their parents, their background, where they're from, whatever it may be. There's one excuse after another. This used to be the country with no excuses. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps and make it happen. And just doing more than you take isn't that hard. Now, again, I'm not talking about somebody who's really sick or, you know, if you're handicapped in some way that you can't work, you can't do this, you can't do that, or if you're bedridden. That's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about able-bodied human beings here. If you're capable of getting up every day and doing something productive, you should produce more than you take. Part of that is parenthood. Almost every parent that ever was, well, not deadbeat dads or deadbeat moms, there are those too. Anybody who parents a child growing up has, those years anyway, given more than they've taken. Because whatever it is that you're building, you're sharing with others. And Elon Musk said this, and I don't know why, but somehow, and I don't think Mark would see it this way because he's got a bigger heart than me, and he's a nicer guy and a better person than me. But I just feel like that's a really low bar. To ask people to do the right thing seems like the lowest of all bars for humanity. And Elon Musk says it in 2025, and it makes you go, bang, like a light bulb comes on. Like that's what's missing in our culture today. And it's just one of the saddest things ever, that something so simple seems so brilliant in these times, and so few people are doing it. And this thing in Minneapolis with the Somalians has pointed that out to a lot of people. There's just millions of people in this country grifting. They're just here stealing. I don't know how else to say it. And it's getting to a point now where you can call it profiling, bigotry, stereotype, whatever. But most American citizens that I know, most of the people in my world are looking at this going, my God, we didn't know how many people were here ripping us off. This is a joke. And we've gone from, well, it doesn't seem fair to just deport everyone. And it's starting to sound like maybe that's okay. Maybe we should round everybody up and send them home and start over. We'll vet you as you come in and we'll see what your game is. We'll know who you are. Then we'll give you a fair shot. Because we don't believe the people here have given America a fair shot at all. And it's our turn to turn the tables. Uncanceled continues on KCMO. Weird Al tickets are up for grabs right now. We'll take the seventh caller. Is that what we're doing?
Let's do sixth and seventh.
Sixth and seventh caller. See, Mark is a much better person than me. Weird Al Yankovic is coming to Morton Amphitheater on June 19th this summer. It's going to be a beautiful night. That's the second longest day of the year, I believe. Outstanding. Bigger and Weirder Tour 2026, Morton Amphitheater. This is going to be a great, great, fun, interesting, entertaining, funny night with Weird Al Yankovic. Call right now, 913-408-7957. Callers 6 and 7. Get a pair of tickets to have some fun with KCMO Talk Radio in June with Weird Al at Morton Amphitheater. Congratulations to Joe in Marysville and Tim in Grain Valley for winning the Weird Al Yankovic tickets during the commercial break. That's going to be fun. They gave us this list. We had a promotions meeting. Mark, you were in there, and they said, hey, here's all these people that are coming. Who do you like? And what's the first one I said?
Weird Al.
Let's do Weird Al.
Give us Weird Al.
If we're going to get a guest on the show at some point to promote the concert, that's the guy I want to have on.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. And we'll have another pair tomorrow at 10:45.
That's awesome, man. Weird Al. You have a favorite Weird Al song?
Oh, man, I was telling the guys earlier, I performed a lip sync of Lump, which is Gump.
Yeah.
That's the Weird Al version. So I did that in 7th grade, and that was my breakout performance. The kids in my 7th grade class had no clue I could do a performance like that. And
Nice.
It was incredible. And it was fun. So I go to that song.
I'm partial to Eat It.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Eat it. Eat it. No one wants to reheat it.
Weird Al's great.
That's a Michael Jackson song, Beat It. It's so great.
Amish Paradise is one of my favorites, too.
It's just so good. And he just continues to entertain people, and it'll be a lot of fun. That amphitheater looks nice, man.
I can't wait to go.
16,000 people, and 12,000 are covered from rain or bad sun. It's outdoor. They've got a big cover over it. And then about 4,000 what you would call lawn seats. Looks like it's going to be real nice. Morton Amphitheater. Their corporate headquarters, I can see them right out the window.
Yeah, I drove by it the other day in the snow. It was very nice.
Yeah, it just happened. One day I drove by and there's a big Morton salt lady up on the building. I'm
Yeah.
like, they relocated from Chicago. So we can't handle it here in Illinois anymore. We're moving to Overland Park. And they did, and now they have an amphitheater, and that's going to be cool. There's a lot of great shows. We know several artists that are coming that have not been released yet, right? Is that fair to say? We can't say who they are?
I think so. I think they're announcing soon.
One of them is one of my all-time favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Lib Gone Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Springsteen-ish category freak show.
Mm-hmm.
Famously sat during the national anthem a few years ago at an NFL playoff game in a box and was eating.
I think I don't know who you're talking about.
While everyone else was standing up, he just sat there and ate his popcorn. Ugh, guys like that. Oh, guess what we learned and I like so far this college basketball season? Defense matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't you say UConn won last night because of their defense?
Yeah. KU couldn't score in the last 5 minutes.
They scored 2 field goals the first 12-plus minutes the second half. I think they were at one point were 1 for 15. Mm-hmm. UConn really, really defended. KU's defense was good last night. There was nothing wrong with KU's defense. I'm not saying it was. Missouri lost to Notre Dame because they gave up 52% in the second half. They didn't defend. They had a 7-point lead at halftime at Notre Dame last night and lost by 5. Defense fell apart. A couple nights ago, Kansas State's defense was awful, but we expect that every single night. That's how you lose to Bowling Green, even though you have good players. You don't play any defense.
Yeah.
I feel like defense over the years has just started becoming missing in sports. I am encouraged that it matters more in the NFL this year than a lot of years. We're seeing that with teams that are winning. And I'm encouraged in the college basketball season so far this year. And do not be upset, Kansas fans, because this should bode well for KU. Bill Self has a lot of new players. He's basically through the years been known as a defensive coach. And you would think Kansas defensively, with the players they have, they get Darren Peterson back, by February would be one of the better defensive teams in the country. I think that's fair to say, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, those big guys, Badunga and everything, they're really good.
It's not the sexiest things. It's not the things that fans love more than anything else, but it's really important in college basketball. Mark Van Sickle, what do the years 1997, 2007, 2017, and 2027 have in common? That's other than they end in 7, they're 10 years apart. That's 97, 07, 17, and 27.
Something with the full moon? I don't know.
Each of those years, the President of the United States was born in 1946.
Oh.
Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Donald J. Trump.
Nice.
How about that one? The Vince Show's coming up next. Thanks for listening to KCMO.